From one of the world's longest running construction projects.
I will see it. Probably I will be retired, but I will see it.
To the world's first solar power tower. This is Mega World Spain. Hola and welcome to Mega World Spain. I'm Kevin Brosh, just hanging out with some of the big boats here on the Spanish Mediterranean coast. Nice. You know, Spain has always been a top travel destination for people the world over. One of the main reasons, obviously, is the near-perfect weather that graces this country almost each and every day. That's why when Spain was chosen to host the America's Cup yacht race, well, you know that weather was probably a key factor in the decision. Now, the defending champions, they get to choose the location for the race. In this instance, it's the Swiss choosing the Spanish port city of Valencia. It's the very first time the America's Cup has ever been held in Europe, which makes it a very fitting place to debut some weather analysis equipment that's been designed specifically for the event. The port of Valencia, Spain, host to one of the sporting world's most prestigious events, the 32nd America's Cup yacht race. Since the last race 4 years ago, defending Swiss champion Alingi's sailing crew has been training hard on the water. So has its weather team, learning how to predict the weather off Spain's Mediterranean coast.
Now up to 10 knots across the course.
Alingi meteorologist John Bilger says such preparation is critical for success.
Well, it's 4 years, it's a long time, and we've put a lot of resource and effort into it. 95% of the time we have a sea breeze, so that's the conditions that we've been training for.
A classic sea breeze, created when the land heats up, drawing cooler air off the water. You can count on it in sunny Valencia during the months of April to July when the matches are held, but it can be tricky.
There's subtle changes in direction and wind strength that really make a difference between winning and losing the race, and predicting that is actually very tough.
Come race day, sailors need to know within minutes exactly what the wind is going to do. Pick up, die down, shift left or right. 5 or 10 degrees can make a big difference. Meteorologists need good data to make the accurate forecasts. In the past, every yacht had its own weather boats out on the course gathering data. Up to 80 boats sitting next to each other, all doing the exact same thing. Here in Valencia, all the racing teams are turning to one man, Glyn Davies. Davies has come up with a completely new system. A series of high-tech floating weather stations deployed around the race course.
We'll do the lift and then redeploy it.
Davies designed and built the weather buoys back home in New Zealand.
It's the first time a system like this has been used anywhere in the world.
A series of 22 buoys have been on the course for 3 years now, collecting all the raw data.
We're pretty confident that these buoys are very, very accurate, and they're very reliable.
Today, Glyn and his team will move some of the buoys from the south to the north section of the race course. The main weather boat, only 13 meters long, is purpose-built for taking the buoys in and out of the water. Still, it's heavy lifting, and it's risky. Together, the buoy, chain, and anchor weigh more than 5 tons.
There's a lot of weight on particularly for a boat this size. The first time was a bit scary, but as we've been doing, we've been refining the system, learning how to make the boat work for us, and now we feel pretty confident doing it in most conditions.
Once the buoy is up on deck, electrical engineer Eduardo Aldes gets to open it up.
What we have here is the Viper, and it's a unit that is essentially the brains of the system.
Aldes helped design and build the brains, the special onboard computer. It calculates the data from different sensors: wind, speed, wind direction, pressure, humidity, and temperature. Of course, it has to be waterproof.
So this is essentially an IP66 box, which means that we could connect everything and put it underwater and it would still work.
At the top of the carbon fiber mast, one of the most important sensors, a high-tech ultrasonic wind meter.
big advantage of this is that it is, one, very, very accurate, very precise, and also that it has no moving parts, so it is very, very physically robust.
The team has tested the ultrasonic meter on land, swaying it far beyond anything it would ever experience at sea in Valencia, making sure it can withstand big waves without having to be constantly recalibrated. The raw data from the buoys at sea is transmitted via a cell phone network to an internet server where teams can access it using special software.
And what I'll do is I'll go to the live data that's currently coming in at the moment. And what you can see here is the data is sent every 15 seconds. Each one of these marks here is a buoy. Next to it you can see the wind speed and the wind direction. And that's what's actually out there at this point in time at the moment. Here is a typical race course, with the start being here, this straight line, and the top mark being here.
The sea buoys combined with some land stations allow every team to see exactly what the wind is doing at any location on the course.
So here is a land station that's 9 miles up the coast. As you can see, it's averaging about 2 or 3 knots more than the other buoys that are on the course, which are down here.
Davies and his crew are constantly modifying and improving the system.
We have a 99.95% uptime, which is pretty good for a new product. Anything in the sea environment, it's going to break. You're dealing with corrosion, you're dealing with boats hitting it, you're dealing with 3 or 4 meter waves. It's not a nice environment.
And if something does break down, the buoys are modular so they can be fixed at sea.
If something goes wrong with the computer or a mast or anything, we can generally have it replaced within about 4 or 5 minutes. And that's particularly important on race days because the teams aren't interested in excuses. They just want results.
And the results speak for themselves. Swiss team meteorologist John Bilger says the data is extremely accurate.
Really, it's great. It works 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
For the first time, all the yachts have access to the same cutting-edge technology. But predicting the weather can never be an exact science.
There's also an element of gut feel to it because the science can only take you to a certain level. If the weather conditions are steady at the time, our impact is less. But if there is a big change coming, and if we get it right, it can be a race-winning call.
With the 32nd America's Cup match just a week away, the guys with the weather data service can relax a little bit and hope for smooth sailing come race day.